My name is Brian Lim. I'm the head of agency impact team. Basically, my main job function is analysis, result, and reports. So basically, we are the source of the data reports to all the agency force. Right? So basically, that sums up what actually my role in Surin Insurance. Before KPIs came into picture, normally actually they are processes that actually we have to go through just to get the reports out. For example, basically normal reports, it takes us about 3 days to come out the reports, and a very more complex result to us maybe 4 working days. So that was live before KPI saw, and that actually put a lot of pressure in the sales team, right? Where the agency are demanding instant reports. Where are they? In terms of all the contents, challenges that we have rolled out. And when KPI came to the picture, we have give the agency as a sales team an enabler for them to get the instant access to these reports. Because when it comes to iManage, all these reports is instant, right? Basically, by fingertips, they can see where they are. And that actually create a lot of what I call it drive, momentum, as well as fighting spirit among the agency force, right? Because now they know where they are, there and then. As simple and as quick they can be. We had these what I call our group agency managers, who are actually very good in managing his team, right? And he actually had been bombarding my team for the reports every time. And but for us, we try our best, right, to provide what I call it the faster solution, faster report to them. But normally through our old method of doing things, that by the time we what I call it come out the report, which is 3 days, then only the reports being cascade out to the our sales team locally. So there's a time gap, right, for them to receive the final reports. So with this KPI in the picture, this GAM basically thrilled. Basically now I think by 24 hours or 36 hours, he can see basically the whole team performance. So that's something that really he said, wow, I wish you have this 10 years ago. It made my life easier, right, to track, to monitor, and to push my team to do a better performance. So I think that is the testimonial of what I call it, how does actually iManage really helps in the agency management. KPIs have changed the way how my team works, in a way that previously it's all manual. Every time with manual, it takes times. Right, example for a normal reports, it takes 3 days, 3 working days just to count reports. And a more complex, what I call it, contents or challenges, will take us about 5 working days. So that is a number that actually, if you were to put at the perspective of the sales team, is something that actually costs them in terms of productivity. Now, when the KPIs came into picture, basically they have an instant, what I call it, access to the result, everything. Now it's about 24 hours, 36 hours kind of refresh of the data. So that in the way enable the sales team as well as the agency force to have an instant access to the data, to the result. The 3 benefits I would say to sum up how does KPIs sort of help in the agency management is that first I would say it's a speed. I think in terms of sales management, agency management, speed are crucial. Every second count in getting the sales. And of course, the next what I call it values that I can think of is that in terms of the what I call it convenience, right? Not everything is at your fingertips. Before this, what agency need to do, or even the sales team need to do, they need to log into web portals, log in the ID, blah blah blah, scroll where's the result, and not everyone actually want to do that. Okay, having an app that actually give you all the power to have the report or have the result in your fingertips. So I think that's a great thing that what I call it KPI bring the value to it especially. And the last value that I can think of is that innovative. Basically, KPI Soft have provide us an innovation. It's something that actually, if you were to ask the agency for, it's something that they are actually looking forward. Right? All this while we have been operating using the old method, the traditional method. Print out the physical reports, log in the web portal kind of thing. So that is the thing of the past. Now we're talking about speed, everyday and instant. So I manage give that enable to Zurich to move forward. No doubt that we have now the enabler to like have a fast access to the what I call it data whatsoever. But I think moving forward the trend will be like perhaps we can talk about artificial intelligence kind of what I call it trackings or this kind of thing. So I think that will bring the whole level of agency management to the next level. And basically when we talk about what I call it artificial intelligence, it's something that perhaps when someone is maybe on pace like 50% or 80%, a message just prompt to them, prompt the sales manager, just like everywhere, just make sure that everyone's at their toes in the of their day-to-day sales tracking kind of thing. So I think that will really help, especially the sales team, right, to like push their people to the next level, right? Rather than I just wait for the final result. I'm at 80%. So it will be great that and we can reach that level. Is that before that happen, something had prompted like we are almost there, push forward somehow. So I think that would be great for the future. Well, if KPIs were not in the picture, I would think that my team will be more what I call it load up, stress up, basically because we have more and more content or challenges launched every day, every week, every month. So that actually putting a lot of pressure to the team, and as well currently like Takaful are into the picture. Now we're talking about almost 10,000 agency force. So serving a 10,000 agency force by using a manual kind of approach is not the way of doing things. Well, so that's why I think with KPIs in the picture, actually it have lessened our burden, and looking forward to move forward with better innovation, better solution to the GT force. I think the current challenges that I think the whole industry is facing currently, especially for insurance, that I would say the first thing with the newly launched balance scorecard. Basic balance scorecard is a good initiative by the regulatory just to make sure the level of professionalism of the whole industry is at par, and that basically create a lot of stress because balance scorecard basically is KPI based, right? You need to know a lot of KPIs. Where are you? Then only your commission, so the commission what percentage will be paid out. So I think that in a way have created a pressure point in terms of the agency or how they perform. Now when it comes to the KPIs actually have great like the I manage, we basically have a module for the balance scorecard, and that actually greatly assists the agency force to know where they are at their respective KPI so they can perform, right? And I think currently the whole industry is at a consolidation stage. So with that in mind, and the tools that I think the KPIs have provided to Zurich, I think that actually lessen the burden obviously, and the what I call it create a lot of provide some enabler to the agency force, right, to moving forward with this kind of challenges and stress from the industry. Basically, I think what I want to add is that moving forward, the digital journey of the I think Zurich is we are just starting the journey. So I would say the journey going to be interesting, judging by what we have seen now, and I think even the agency force and the sales team are looking forward for better innovation, better solution and tools that I think we can provide them, just to assist them in a day-to-day management. To me, KPI is speed and convenience. That's basically what I can sum up from the perspective of what I'm doing currently. Because that is what the sales team